Anyway, so recap from last time. You guys each had your own specific dream or thing that happened. And eventually you all wound up back down in the base of Auntie's Tavern to sort of reconvene after whatever wild ride you decided to have, or decided to talk to, or was forced upon you. Don't judge me. After that, you actually met with someone who decided to help you out of the goodness of their hearts because you helped with the prism situation in order to get the two bunnies, Tiberius and Various, their sigil stones. After a small detour at a cake shop run by the White Rabbit from Wonderland, you made it to the council chambers as well as the strange dome-like structure where Roast had a bit of a wild run with some wild magic, and it was funny. And then both Tiberius and Various went inside and went through, I think the best way to describe it was a glitchy fever dream.
Nintendo cartridge.
There you go. And got their stones after meeting a strange ball of light that sounded a lot like a child. However, upon leaving, they realized only a minute had passed, even though it felt like hours. The group kind of gathered themselves back together. They talked to Kahana and learned that they could learn some more information from a friend of theirs if they chose to do so. All before Flix had a terrible, terrible fall into a box of donuts.
I know.
And was carried off by their unseen servant back to Auntie's Tavern.
It was painfully delicious.
And we bring you all back to the tavern at the moment. The tavern is lively. There's tons of people currently drinking, partying, eating, and whatnot. Sorry, I'm being bothered.
No worries.
Let's see. For the most part, everyone seems to be not paying you much mind. Tiberius is over in one booth, Various is at a table, Auntie is serving guests, Rose is at the bar, Flix has just come down from cleaning himself up from the pastry incident, and it's still early morning, so give or take an equivalent about 10 a.m. So there's people coming, there's people going throughout the tavern itself. As far as you're aware, you have several options in front of you. You can either potentially seek out more information about what's going on from Leonard or the friend that you made with Kohana, but with Kohana, you also distinctly remember that they need time to alert their mutual friend before you're allowed to visit. You can also explore the city, you can talk to other people there, so therefore I leave it open to you guys.
I see a bunny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Flix is going to look at Rose and ask Rose what they think the best course of action would be, to speak with Leonard or Kohana.
I've been muddling about that a little bit there. Rose looks over to Auntie. Hey, Auntie?
She kind of looks up from cleaning some glasses and looks you up and down. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's in charge of the guard around the commons here? Is there a like a barracks or a post nearby?
She kind of winces a bit. It's like, you're gonna have to go upstairs to the council hall, find the architect. The people that work under him kind of control everything here.
Alright, we'll do. And then looks over to Flix there. Well, suppose the logical thing would be to check with Leonard, but I kind of prefer a little bit to work from the ground up. And seeing as how the guards are the ones who had the runs in with those those guild members last night, then I think maybe gain some insight from them first of all would be the best way to go.
Okay, so we'll check with the guards first then, see what we need to figure out, and then go to Leonard once we have evidence, I guess it would.
Well, I mean, I think there's pretty much evidence that we're already doing a bunch of assholes, but moreover, I'd like to kind of glean a little more insight into how this attack went down.
Okay. I will follow your lead.
Good.
Assuming
I
they're
don't wanna
willing
be
to
hit.
talk to you, that is. You see, the guard and the people around the lords are two completely separate, what's the term for it? Bands of people. It's a good chance that you're not gonna be able to just waltz right in there.
We'll see about that.
She kind of looks you up and down. It's like, and what makes you so confident?
I
don't know,
in
just-
the background.
Just call it a hunch.
Just don't be bringing any more trouble over here. In fact, I would like to speak to all four of y'all. She kind of looks over at Tiberius and Various. Means you too.
She said hop to it.
Are you guys stuffing your faces again?
No.
No. Auntie, do you have any more of those delicious pastries?
Look, I need to talk to you four. Well, at least for three of you. Flix is allowed to stay here considering he's with the courts. But you three, I'm afraid that unless you're working for me or working for someone out of this tavern, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to kick y'all out unless you have work to do. I do need to keep this place open for paying customers.
Right.
Excellent. How much does it cost? Oh, right, you don't deal with money, do you?
We do deal with money down here.
Oh.
Yes. Or work. But at this moment, I got nothing for y'all. Also, Flix, Jericho apparently wants to talk to you. He should be down here soon.
Uh-oh.
So just hang tight. But as for you three, I'd recommend probably looking into other places to sort of hang out. I'd rather not bring more trouble than needed to my tavern, especially if she looks at Rose. If you plan on going poking around the guards, I really do not need that attention here.
Pierce is going to hold up his sigil stone and go, we have these now.
That ain't mean shit down here.
And you were most welcome for those. Okay, so it's very clear you guys have to go on a rousing adventure without me. So I will give you a parting gift to keep you safe. Flix is going to take some glitter out of his hair and sprinkle it on every one of them.
Oh no.
The glitter hair begins.
I'm gonna do something funny for this. So roll, all three of you roll a dex save at disadvantage. Because it's glitter.
Because it's glitter.
It's glitter.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, it'll keep
my
you safe.
my dex save is 0. This is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, that's a nat 1.
That's a nat 1. So
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
Rose and Various, you definitely can't escape the glitter. For some reason, Rose, the glitter does not burn up when it touches your flames either. It just sticks there. It's
It
fake
makes you
bullshit.
look even more impressive.
Tiberius, you not only get doused with the glitter, but you get a mouthful of it too.
Now I tell you, it's all look.
Various tries to shake it off, but and glowers in Flix's direction, but
Flix is
sighs.
gonna hug all three of them. I'm so proud of you.
As you're hugging them, Jericho does come down from the stairs, and he kind of looks over to you, Flix, and kind of motions for you to come over to see him.
Flick swallows hard and then goes up the stairs all defeated.
Jericho's standing at the base of the stairs, so I don't have a token for him.
He goes to the Jericho all defeated.
It's like, now, don't look so downcast. This is actually really good. This is a good thing. He does look a bit tired, but a little hopeful. Well, considering some problems, you're actually being sent in my place to have a luncheon with the Wind Lord.
I'm being promoted?
Essentially, yes.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Now, Flix, this particular luncheon with the Wind Lord is imperative for us as the Fae. It's a mission of goodwill in order to make sure that our oaths and magic keep up with the Wind Lord, so we don't lose them.
Of course.
So he kind of clasps his hands together. It's like, so I need you to get all dolled up and ready and nice.
Oh,
and
you're speaking my language!
And you will have an escort waiting out for you outside in 10 minutes.
He kicks up his heels and goes "Eek!" and runs up the stair.
Jericho kind of looks to the rest of the group and it's like, I'm sorry to take him away from you at this time, but he is needed.
No, wait, please, don't go.
Honestly, Rose, did you practice that dry wit?
What do you mean practice?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I am surprised he's not made out of salt.
Auntie kind of chuckles and is like, there are salt primordials.
Of course there are.
I mean, they tend to be around in the plane of Earth, but they exist.
Oh man, I can't wait till we meet the salty salt earth elemental.
Yeah, they exist. Oh, they exist.
So much salt.
Rose, you do realize that Flix was actually the only one of us that was able to lift our spirits.
Oh, come on now. I'm pretty sure you have a personality to match.
Well, of course I do. Of course I do. I just
Antsy
don't
with the
do it.
burns.
Well, what better time than start? As you guys are talking to Auntie, you actually hear the front of the tavern doors open, and a figure enters. Let me actually bring it to the layer. Nope, that's not what I wanted. What the hell did I do?
It's a Tarask, Mother Ducker.
What did I do? God
Why
damn
is it always a Tarask?
Oh no.
Sorry, no, hold on.
No, it's okay. I feel this. I've done this before. I think what you did was you raised the map level.
I did, okay. Now this
Jin's
is
like
the
very
person I
prepared
wanted
for
to
this
bring
for his
up.
whole life.
At the back of the at the front of the tavern, you see a figure clad in bright green garb that is very reminiscent of 1920s, almost mafia-style gangsters. She has a very high and very regal look to her, and almost looks as if she's made of liquid poison. But Rose, in particular, you kind of turn around as you hear the door open, kind of almost instinctively, as most people tend to do when a new noise comes in. You kind of pause for a second as you recognize this is one of Glacia's mafia members.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine. It's all good now.
She was like,
not
I'm
like-
out.
We're all good here
You don't know
now.
their exact position, but you have seen them on occasion with Glacia when he has come to, typically argue with Leonard on occasion.
To be Glacia?
Rose is instantly going to reach for Various and try to swing him over onto the stool next to him. Just look forward and act natural.
Nye, in fact, for you, the people that you were sent to look for are right in front of you, just as planned.
Ah, perfect.
Now, I'm going to pull Allie aside because you have a slight bit of story here.
Okay.
Oh,
Rose, do you know that individual?
By... how do I put this?
Were you two an item?
No.
I don't know how things work around here. Maybe fire and water, connect.
Yes, usually when fire and water connect, it results in steam and the absence of said fire. No, I did not know her I do not know the individual personally, but I know them by reputation, and that is enough to put us on edge.
Well,
By
you do
reputation.
realize that we're sort of in the center of the bar. They're probably going to come over here.
Okay.
Honestly, there's no reason that this thing would even want to speak to us unless perhaps it knows you, Rose. Because Various and I are...
Also, I really hope somebody clips Rose's reaction being asked if he and I were a thing.
Oh my god, what?
Well, the fact that he was like, you just sit here and act casual, it's like, were you two a thing? And Rose was not happy with that, no.
Oh my god, amazing. I sense potential backstory.
Oh god.
Anyway, Auntie does her usual thing. She'll raise a hand up and greet the newcomer before working on getting a few other orders sorted out.
Okay, so Nai is going to come over to the bar, and she waves to Auntie.
She kind of looks up and's like, "Welcome to Over the Hedge. What can I get for you?"
I'll just take the regular, Auntie.
All right. Oh, wait, you're one of... Oh. Look, she kind of panics a moment. It's like, hey, I paid my dues. I don't know nothing to him anymore.
Oh no, I'm not here for that. I'm actually here for them.
Wait, what?
She says with a coy smile.
They're right behind us, aren't they?
Yeah, if you're talking about the green one that you said that you wanted us to ignore, yeah, she's right behind you.
And Auntie very, very quickly, actually probably the fastest you've ever seen her, actually prepares a very liquidous drink that kind of has a dark blue tinge to it, but it has fog rolling off of it. And she very, very quickly puts it on the bar for the newcomer. She obviously has some fear right now.
Nai is going to pick up the mug. Is it a mug or like a glass?
It's a glass.
Okay, she's gonna pick up the glass gingerly and slide on the equivalent of whatever the money is in this world. I don't know what it's called.
Basically you slide forward what looks to be a couple of blue-looking poker chips, which is the standard currency of water, and she will quickly take those and put them behind the counter.
And I'm gonna give her an extra one for her, fabulous service, because that's what Auntie.
And she almost very quickly goes off to help other people. She's like, no, not doing this. Nope.
I say, are all water elementals have this effect on Auntie?
No, it's just me. I'm Naira, by the way. Nice to meet you three.
So, let's just get down to it. Why exactly do you want us? Various turns on the chair, looking at her sort of deadpan.
Well, aren't you sweet, sugar? I am actually looking for 3 able-bodied people to help me with a little...
This seems like quite the coincidence.
Hi, Rose.
Okay, hear her out. Obviously, we have to find something to do.
Does Rose recognize Nai?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, because I know you said I recognize her as being associated with Glacia then.
But you know who she is.
Okay.
You don't know
gotcha.
what she does, but you know who she is.
I just expect, like, if the water would just have dossiers on all of the guards that are in the area, just in case they needed to blackmail anyone.
I mean, it's obviously got some dirt on Auntie.
Accurate.
So,
All right,
go ahead.
I'm going to assume that since you took the time to at least learn one of our names, that we are of particular interest to you.
Well, it's not every day you come across, 3 people as, well versed as you, per se.
Oh no. What exactly do you mean? And what exactly do you want help with?
Well, see, that's the thing. This is your lucky day. I'm actually here to help you.
What?
Our luck is turning around. Excellent.
Exactly what the tall one said.
Oh.
You hear him snuff and sort of scowl as he sort of hunkers down on his stool.
No.
I didn't mean any offense, sugar. His ears are just pointed up, so I assumed he was taller.
That I am.
Why don't we have you go back to back and we'll see which one is taller? Because ears don't make everything.
Ooh. Ooh.
It's okay. She's not Hoppolition. She doesn't know.
Something you want to share?
No.
Now, I just happened to hear, that you guys are potentially looking to question some of the guards.
Slow I pan to Rose.
Also, slow look to Rose.
Okay, let's cut to the chase. What's your game?
Well, simply put, I want to see what you guys are up to. And if there is some potential capital gain in it, I want it.
I see.
If you want, Rose or Tiberius Various, roll an insight check, and Allie, roll me a deception.
Deception, okay.
Oh boy.
This will be good.
Yeah, I will definitely take that up here. Switch to
I
normal.
think you have expertise in that too.
I'm lucky.
Oh.
I'm choosing to have advantage.
Oh!
Oh God, I thought you had expertise in that. Oh yeah, Tibbs, no clue. This is perfectly fine. She's obviously here to help. Various.
I had lucky, so I actually did get the advantage on that.
Okay, so.
Oh, but I had lucky as well.
Oh yeah, you can actually re-roll that if you want.
Damn.
Okay.
There we go.
Considering Tiberius met it and Various, it seems okay. She seems honest enough. You can't quite understand, but seems alright. She seems honest. Tiberius, you're not sure. I mean, it's extra help. It could help. Rose, on the other hand, you see right through her. You know exactly that she's not here just out of the kindness of her heart. She's up to something. She's here for a reason, but she's not going to tell you. I'm telling you.
That sounds biased against water primordials.
I'm just going to say, of course not. She doesn't have a heart. She's an elemental.
But yeah, Rose, you see right through it.
Well, she may have a heart,
I
but
am made of
maybe from a
water.
former target.
Alright, so
I mean,
I'm
everyone
sure-
wants something.
I'm sure, and addressing Nye. Okay, so here's the thing. First of all, do we look like we have money?
No, but you look like you know how to get some.
Okay, following that up, you do realize that the Fey Dark doesn't exactly operate on currency around these parts. So,
Yes, but the
actually
Fey Dark
pipes.
does
sorry.
Nancy actually pipes up.
treasure.
Actually, in some cases, we do.
See? Auntie's got it. Also, it has very special particular treasures that are hard to find in other realms.
Okay, with
And I love me some
exceptions,
treasure.
yes, they do. So,
Rose, are you going to look a gift hair in the mouth?
It's actually,
Go ahead.
when you think about that's actually really sick. Considering what they are.
all right, noted.
Now he's gonna lean on the bar. Let's be honest, Rose. You guys don't look like you're very good at infiltration, so how do you expect to get certain information out of the guards if you're not used to doing it?
And I'm going to gather that you have something that can help with that.
I am what can help with that. Darling, come on, you know I work for Glacia.
Hold on.
Sort of
All right.
leans over to look.
Okay, the gears are starting to turn slightly. So,
I wouldn't have made it as high in the mob as I have if I wasn't good at my job.
right, and I suppose your position affords you a certain amount of clout around these parts, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course. Plus, I know how to, get what I want. Squeeze information out of people, if you will.
And by people, you would mean the guards, right?
Of course.
It's about what I figured. So,
Think of it as a win-win operation.
Honestly,
do.
I don't mind him. He's always a stick in the mud. I think someone spat on his flame.
Alright, so if I gather this right, you help us loosen the guard's lips, and I suppose we find a way to, down the road, as you say, grease your palm.
Yeah, profits, if you will.
Rose.
Yeah, we look at a card, do a little talking, something, and profit.
Rose. At the moment, they may be, as much as I hate to admit it, they may be useful because we're not exactly, you and I are not exactly great drinkers, and Tibbs has a tendency to
Be tips.
Yeah, exactly. Listen to the cute one.
What do you mean? Excuse me. I am perfectly good at talking to people. I just don't have the same rapport with the locals as I do back at home because I'm not made of some kind of element.
Actually, it's more a case that you're not made of soul and magic. So
I am too made of nothing.
she kind of
Yeah,
stares
you're
at you for a few seconds, like,
subtlety is truly your greatest gift, Tibbs. But Rose, what is your thought?
Well, seeing as how we still need to gather some intel, and technically the three of us are, as you would say it, homeless at the moment, then why the hell not? This isn't gonna be the worst mistake I've ever made.
What was the worst
That's
mistake
the
you ever made?
spirit.
I'm seriously honest. What was the worst mistake you ever made, Rose? Please tell me.
As soon as I get to that, I'll let you know.
Nothing little thing, isn't it?
just
Wow.
be careful around the council chambers. You never know who or what's roaming around there. And there's definitely some individuals you want to avoid at all costs.
Definitely don't want to upset any of the lords. That would just be terrible. And probably end this with death.
I mean, they're not allowed to act unless you do something illegal, at least here in the Foundry. Which is,
Oh, really?
there's just some that are you don't want to cross paths with in general.
More just, easier to set off, per se?
Now,
Mm,
here's an OOC question.
yes.
And it's are we anywhere near curfew?
No, it's like 10 a.m., give or take.
Okay, got it.
You are nowhere near it. You easily got like maybe 20 hours until curfew lands. And it's
Yay!
actually extended since you have sigil stones now.
Yay!
So you've got a lot of time.
Well, I suppose let's get started.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Auntie will kind of look over you. It's like, just be careful out there. There's a lot of stuff that seems to be happening under the surface that not even I know about.
You
Please,
don't
careful's my new
say.
name.
Just be careful.
No, I'm not careful, honestly. Why do people keep saying that?
Don't worry, Sugar. I'll keep an eye on him.
Sure. Next time, warn me when one of your type's gonna be coming in.
Well, that ruins half the fun.
Okay. So you guys gonna leave the tavern?
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, so
Come, Rose. We must go question your friends.
move you out here. Let me change the music. Got it.
Is it bad that I sort of expect there to be like slowly something appearing in the background? Like we don't even notice it. But each time we see this background, something's in there.
You guys make your way outside of the tavern. The dull roar of the chatter and clinking of plates, dishware, and the like is basically now non-existent as the door closes behind you. The streets are filled with people, as usual. They're walking up and down the sidewalks, mostly Fae. There's a couple stands that are open, and several more shops have opened up because it is now an earlier hour. But you are free to go wherever you want from here.
Rose,
All right.
where would you say these gods truly are? The hub. Is there a barracks or perhaps a lounge they go to?
Well, according to Auntie, they hang out upper floors of the console hall.
Ah, good. Lead the way, please.
Um one moment. Would we be in danger?
I would be in danger. Everyone loves us. We're adorable.
He's right. You guys are pretty cute.
See?
Yes, but
We have your magic rocks, Various. No one would think twice.
Rose and Nairo, you would know that there are some places in the council hall that are off limits to outsiders, but as far as you're aware, the barracks are not.
Should
Why
be
did
fine.
you-
We're going to one of the places where you guys are allowed.
Why did you say as far as they're aware? That raises a flag.
My awareness is absolute.
Various is sort of grumbling and being a bit of a worrywart and
Being a
pulls something
Various?
out to nibble on. Various, yes. I'm sorry. We should have chosen. I should have chosen a different name for Various. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
No, it's fine.
You're fine. You're fine.
It's perfect.
I mean, in my Curse of Strahd game, my other party members still mispronounce my character's name, Salen, as Kalen, because it's spelled with a C-A-E.
Yes.
And they also still call him a girl when he's a boy. So it happens.
English is fun.
It is. But yeah, you guys have you can head up to you can actually rather easily head up to the main basically the service level of the Foundry if you so please.
I
Or
thought
if you
his
want to
name
look
was
around.
Kalen. It's the same way we spelled Kalen in our comic.
Nope, it's Salen.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But you can head wherever you want from here. Just tell me where you want to go.
I guess we'll let Rose lead the way because he knows where the guards are.
Yep, heading to the council halls to the barracks.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and head up to at least the surface of the Foundry. So let me put you up onto the streets, new background, and let me. Okay.
Oh,
Nothing. Completely uneventful. Nothing really happens. You see a couple people just kind of on the side of the street. They're either peddling their wares or they're talking on the street, but nothing really stands out as you make your way up onto the surface level of the Foundry, onto these streets. Several businesses are open. Several buildings are open for the public. But for the most part, it just seems to be a normal day in the Foundry. Though there is a distinct lack of the typical aurora borealis in the sky at the moment. So right now you just see a bright blue sky with several pinpricks that look like stars.
What a lovely day.
so.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I read Rose's post.
No, go ahead.
So, who exactly is Lacia again? I heard him, them, her, whoever they are mentioned.
Why, he's the elemental lord of water.
Oh,
See, various people of importance flock to me. That's how it works.
He's probably one of the, if not the most important elemental lords.
That's one way of putting it.
You mean the true way of putting it?
oh no.
I mean, he clearly has more influence than Leonard.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Oh, Various is gonna ease back out from between those two.
Grace is watching. If he had popcorn, he'd be eating it right now.
Rose just like pauses for a brief second, then squares other shoulders and just continues forward.
Oh, Rose being the big man.
He's taking the high road.
So,
Mhm.
Lacia is more important than the Lord of Fire.
Well, of course.
Huh.
I mean, that isn't to say Leonard isn't important. He's just not on the same level as Glacia.
We're working our way up.
I mean, if we can get these jobs done and I can bring in a good haul, I can maybe, get an audience with him for you guys at some point. Tell about all the good you've done to help out the what's the mob called? Nova?
There's no actual name. It's just the people who under Glacia. They don't really have a name.
They're too important for a name.
Yeah, they really are.
The mob?
Just the mob.
They just feel like this council's the mob.
Influence and good you've done for the mob.
What exactly is this? Oh, okay.
No.
That's interesting.
Various subtly eases up beside Rose, just patting his arm. He's used to this sort of thing himself.
As you guys are moving forward, everyone give me a perception check for me, please.
Oh no.
Refuse again.
Which one? Perception? Okay.
Perception, please. Okay, all right.
Oh no.
Oh, I could actually.
Yeah.
All right,
What
none of
do you
you
want to
none of you notice this, but as you're walking along the street, along the sidewalk, Tibbs, you notice something sparkle at the corner of your eye. You kind of pause, and you turn to look at the bushes off to your right, and you see something glittering beneath the leaves. So you kind of see everyone walking forward, and you kind of approach the glittering object, and you reach your hand in, and you pull out this amulet-looking object that seems to be gold. but due to your affiliation with the arcane, you notice that it has a tinge of magic to it. You have acquired an unidentified amulet.
Into
Where,
one of the
where,
pockets.
where did Tiberius go?
Have you tried checking the nearest trash can?
The bush.
I'll be adding that to your item sheet.
Doctor guy?
He
There
wouldn't.
we go.
Just admiring the bushes. That's all. It's nothing important.
Mm.
Now you can take a short rest, or I believe it's 10 minutes with detect magic to identify it, or you can just attune to it straight out. But that takes a little bit in order to find out what it is. But
It's okay.
Uh,
I have identify magic. I'll just wait till I have time and no one's around.
Yeah.
Shifty eyes.
okay. So you guys continue on to the council hall. You kind of move along the pathway that the public is known to go through. So you head up to these massive stone gates that are open, of course, that lead into this huge, just massive, sprawling courtyard of hedges and pathways and buildings. And you kind of reach the center area where there's a large fountain, and it kind of branches off into multiple different paths. You have one path that leads straight forward into the actual council hall itself, which is the 3 spire buildings, but you also have some that branch off into other directions.
So, which way?
Words right out of my mouth.
I'm assuming that Rose probably knows a path there, or if it's like I'm guessing there's probably would be at least like some signs pointing to the barracks, because we know the barracks are going to be on the upper floors.
Mm-hmm. And you know that it's going to actually be in the spire buildings. But it's not in the main one, the central one. It's sort of the one to the right. So the rightmost spire.
Rose points over that way. Then, yeah, they shall be crowded up in there.
So, how do we exactly do this?
How do you want to do it?
Are there guards nearby?
There are guards everywhere.
Tiberius
Currently,
towards
at
one of
the
them.
moment, it seems to be a mixture of earth and wind guards.
Tiberius is moving towards the nearest guard.
Okay, what do you say to him?
Excuse me, sir and/or madam. Might I have a moment of your time?
The one you approach is actually going to be, let's see.
Naya's gonna look at Rose and be like,
Okay.
"Are you sure he should be doing this?"
I thought it was out of 20, and I was like, oh no.
No. I was just to determine the element. The primordial you're talking to is an earth primordial that seems to be made out of purple gemstones, or at
Why
least.
couldn't it be solved? Why couldn't it be solved?
Oh, this one.
But they kind of look down to you for a moment. They don't really have eyes, but they kind of just stare at you.
Quite odd. Do you have any ocular orbs or something I can focus on?
I can see
gotta
you
do
just
this all
fine.
until later.
Excellent. I have a friend over here who wants to speak to you. Beep beep.
Look, any and all inquiries, you probably best head to the barracks to talk to the captain.
Oh,
I'm
don't
just
take that long. Oh, Captain, you say? Yes, that's. Could you point me in the proper direction?
There's a pause, like you know that long awkward pause when you ask someone a stupid question,
Yes, I know that quite well, especially Tiberius.
and he literally just points down the path to like the main spires. And it's like it's just over there.
I was expecting to like thumb behind him. That's the door.
It's not exactly close to the public. Like I said, any concerns best be brought up to the captain.
What if it wasn't a concern and more of a general inquiry?
Again, I'm just an on-duty guard. Take all inquiries to the captain.
Oh, thank you for your time.
Stay
I
safe.
shake your hand, but I'm not sure what you're made of. No offense.
They keep their hands behind their back.
Plus, I haven't seen your hands. Farewell. Cheerio.
They don't really wave you goodbye, they just go back to their watch.
Various has stayed back. He's self-aware enough to know that he's not good at talking with people, and if he probably tried to jump in to stop anybody, he'd just make it worse. So
Mhm.
he's letting other people just take the lead.
Okay. On your way to the barracks, nothing happens. It's actually rather uneventful. There's not a whole lot of people coming here. You see the occasional guard shift, so you see a couple guards going in, a few coming out, but nothing really stands out. The front doors are completely open, for one, and much like the rest of the council hall and the Foundry in general, it has a very minimalistic look. But inside, there's a massive, just sort of massive gathering hall. There's tables, there's chairs, there's benches. There's some guards that are off duty, some that are getting on duty. Kind of just typical that you would see of a mess hall in a way, but it's the first room. There's several other branching hallways as well, leading either deeper or heading upwards.
Well, they did point out the captain there. Is there anything that directs over to the captain's quarters?
You see signage along one wall. It says like restroom, resting rooms to the north, etc. But you see the captain's quarters is up on the 3rd floor.
Alright, yeah, I'll follow that lead
Second
then.
floor seems to be storage.
Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna head right for the captain's then.
Okay. You guys follow?
And I
Yep.
can follow Rose.
Okay. You kind of wind up these spiral staircases up until you reach the 3rd floor. And again, the architecture is very similar, but instead of more open hallways, it seems more like an office building in a way, with narrow hallways, cubicles, and several offshoot rooms that have doors to them. Some of the rooms are closed. They don't have lights on or anything. But there is one larger room at the very end of one particular hall that has the door open, has a silver placard on the door, and there is someone inside of it currently going over paperwork.
Rose kind of squares himself up a little bit and then will wrap their knuckles on the captain's door.
As you do this, you kind of are able to peer into the room. The aesthetic itself is very void. So there's on the ceiling there's little glow-in-the-dark sticker stars. The bookshelves are made from dark wood. The desk and chairs are also made from a similar wood that seem to have speckles of light throughout them. And the primordial itself that is sitting at the desk, going over several different colored sheets of paper, is definitely a void primordial. They have very short cut hair, but it obviously looks like the surface of a sun, but a purple sun. So kind of like you see solar flares occasionally radiating off of it. Their skin is almost a bright white, but their eyes are deep black pools. And they kind of look up, and they kind of see you, Rose. Yeah, they're a purple corona, yeah. And they kind of look at Rose, then they'll see Various, and also Naira, and they're like, "Yes, what can I help you with?"
Yeah, I'm here to discuss about the attacks that occurred last night.
There's a long, long silence before he kind of sets down the papers he was looking over. They were red in color, but they had embroidery, and he kind of pushes those under a few other papers before motioning for all 4 of you to come into the room. Close the door behind you, please.
Various moves up to.
There are chairs in the room. There's a total of 6 of them.
Okay, he's gonna take a seat.
Okay.
Tiberius will stand.
Okay.
I will take a seat, cross her
Okay.
legs.
Rose, what are you doing?
Rose will kind of take a seat, but still keep their kind of their posture straight, serious.
The guard captain seems to think for a second. He kind of places his elbows onto the desk while steepling his hands in front of his face, and his lips kind of rest on his knuckles. It's like, were you in any way impacted by last night's attack? Were you attacked or anything of the sort?
That's that's one way of putting it there. We were accosted of
Well,
sorts.
he was.
Yes, I myself was accosted last night then. I was taking a little leisurely stroll through the fire district over the Foundry then, when we had some unsavory individuals appear, and apparently word's going around then that that's not the only place that they popped up, and seeing as how they were in the fire district, I believe that puts me in the position of being a very concerned citizen.
Understandable. No, only the fire district was attacked last night after the storm settled. You weren't injured, were you? And can you describe the individuals that accosted you?
I had a few scrapes there, but I managed to keep myself more or less intact then.
Mm-hmm.
There was one in particular then, sort of kind of with some bluish robes, almost very lupine in appearance.
He seems to be writing down notes on another piece of paper.
Oh, wait, I'm trying to think. Lupine? No, I think Lupine's is a character. Whatever the scientific term for rabbit is.
Vulpine, isn't it?
Vulpine.
Vulpine, yes, thank you.
Wait, no, that's foxes.
That's Fox.
Wait, no, wait.
That's Fox.
There's Lagomorph. There's also one other, I think.
Lepus is another one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think Lepus works best there.
Not lupus.
Lupus.
Oh, that explains why you thought lupine, though.
It's
Yeah.
not lupus.
Also, Leoporte is another one. Lagomorpha, Mammalia.
Yeah, Mammalia is just basically mammal.
But yeah. But Lepus is the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, Lepus, right.
Okay. That definitely matches something of ours. He seems to be taking several notes. It's like, and the others, I'm guessing they also ran into trouble as well.
They were actually settled down. They're obviously from out of town, as you can tell. And
We're good friends. We're very concerned for our friends' here well-being and quite distraught. We wanted to make sure that we were there for more support. Isn't that right?
We patched him up once he got back.
Yeah, they were still running all their credentials, essentially, since they're outsiders. I went out to the district to procure a few items from Fire then, and then all this shit went down.
Okay. He kind of just continues taking notes. It's like, well, thank you for bringing this up to me. We have only a few eyewitnesses of the accounts last night, aside from a few survivors.
Alright, so out of character, the captain said the attacks only happened in the fire district.
Yes.
I want to make an insight check on that, because we also went through the Fey Dark.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, he had no chance. You can tell that he is withholding a lot of information. He is purposely not telling you things.
I need to boost up my charisma.
But as you know, Rose is standard protocol for law enforcement.
Right. Um, yes, I'm glad that you are taking all of our safety into consideration here, indeed. I there is some other pieces of information I do have that may help your case.
Kind of looks up to you with those pure black eyes. Like there's no iris or anything in it. It's just like an endless black hole. It's like, and that would be.
Well, as I was approaching the fire portal, there appeared to be, at least I can, it's kind of all of a blur almost, but almost like there was a, what do you call that, an impure? I believe that's the term. I'm still new to the whole primordial thing, but
His
yeah.
eyes kind of narrow at you. It's like, we found no evidence of any impure at the portal.
Oh, really? You sure about that? I don't know. I mean, I was my faculties were all there, and I mean, what I saw was almost beyond any prescription. Any, normal description right there. Whatever it certainly wasn't any standard primordial that I have seen before there.
When we arrived on the scene, there was nothing there at the portal, not even its guards.
I see. Uh, hey, Nye, I'm sure someone like you can kind of agree with me here, and I mean, the captain's doing their job, of course, here, but I mean, how do you
I
suppose?
agree, but I think maybe he's not being thorough enough.
Well, let's put this here. Hypothetically speaking here, suppose that there was something as dangerous as as an impure, shall we say, hypothetically, that was essentially on Fire's doorstep. Then, now, as I can probably imagine, someone like Leonard, for instance, would be, quite concerned about the safety of his plane, right?
Of course, any elemental lord would be concerned. It looks
Right.
bad upon them.
Yeah, absolutely. Then, now, say again, once again, hypothetically, that there was a threat, let's say, over in the water district. How do you suppose Galacia would respond to that same scenario?
Oh my, I would not want to be the captain in that position if there was a chance to possibly rectify this before it got to Glacia. Oh, that
Right.
could be very, very bad.
Yeah, you're actually onto something there. Like, suppose again, hypothetically, let's just keep it at that then. Suppose that there was a threat, or there was perhaps information pertaining to how to prevent such a catastrophe from occurring then, and then it happened, and then someone like Glacia in their position, would happen to find out that that information was not imparted to them in time then. How do you suppose they would feel about that?
I'm pretty sure they would be furious, would be the kindest way of putting it. And
The guard actually seems very unimpressed with both of you. In fact, he looks kind of bored. As I stated, we found no evidence of any impure or struggle at the fire portal. All of the deaths that we found were in the district itself.
Oh, of course. If you don't mind, once again, just a Christian citizen talking here, if you do happen to come across any leads of the the malicious individuals that did lead this onslaught, then would you at least extend an information to Leonard? I'm sure they're a little still spooked as of last night, and they would appreciate any sort of information that you may come across then. Once again, to make sure that the Foundry stays safe and sound for everyone.
That information's being routed to someone else at the moment.
And you're the captain of these parts specifically? You don't have a higher up you have to deal with?
What'd you say?
Asked him if he is the lead authority or if there's anybody above him.
Yeah, the architect is. He's my boss.
Oh, good. I would like the architect's information so that as a concerned citizen and valuable employee of Glacia, that I could let him know that there's a chance that his guard isn't doing their job.
You're gonna need to get an appointment. Okay, Tiberius, you do, in fact, manage to slip some of the papers. Which ones are you grabbing?
The ones that he was working on prior to us entering.
Okay, so you kind of snag the red papers that he kind of hid away, and you actually read them a little bit, and it is a report from last night.
Oh.
And according to the report, they didn't find any traces of the impure there. They found no traces of anything. They found several dead bodies, but that was it.
Honestly, Rose, I think the poor captain has had quite enough of us. We understand your concern, but now is not the time. Can't you see they're quite busy? I, for one, wouldn't want to be in their shoes with this entire thing happening and no culprit to be caught or seen even. All tensions are high, and I believe that everyone here can agree that you're doing a very good job, Captain.
We do what we can.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously you have a lot of paper pushing to do, so we'll leave you to your faculties.
Okay. You rather easily slip the files back because he's paying more attention to Roos and Nye.
Excellent.
It's like, then he kind of waves you off with one hand. It's like, thank you for the report, though. But I have work to do.
Gross. We'll leave the captain to his business. I know you went through quite a terrible ordeal, and hopefully they find the culprit soon enough. I'd hate to lose faith in our guard.
Honestly, they're giving us rabbits a bad name.
On your way, then.
Alright, Rose will just stroll out.
Okay. And you guys do head out into like the office area and over to the stairwell. Out of
the
earshot.
official reports mimic what the captain was saying. They didn't see anything.
Rose is gonna wait.
Impurity progress?
Rose is gonna wait until the group is out of earshot of the guard area, the guard spire. Then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
He's right. Yeah, he said he didn't find any sort of impure guards then, and I mean, probably not. You know, seeing as how it happened. But he didn't say that there was anything that happened in the commons either.
Now here's something.
What exactly were you attacked by?
It was a large... He sort of grumbles. Fine. It's somebody I know. I didn't know they were here. They did something to the bodies. They became a giant serpent from our mythology. And, yeah, it's just wonderful. And
You're saying something breached the veil?
I'm sure Glacia's dossier has let me phrase that there. Rose looks over to Nye then. Let me give you one word that probably has popped up in Glacia's dossier already. Guilt.
Nye, this is actually news to you.
You say those, sorry?
Nye, this is actually news to you. As far as you're aware, the attack last night was just a rogue guild attack, nothing more.
What did Rose say? I missed the word.
Rose basically told her that the guild was responsible for the attack.
Guild, okay.
And you know that.
Yeah. That's... Hmm.
I do find it a little bit funny there that they're willing to say that maybe maybe some hands got dirty over in the Foundry, but everything was nice and squeaky clean in the comments. Just tossing it out there.
Yes, but your fluffy, adorable little friend here said that it was someone they knew from their original world.
They're technically
That would
related.
cross the barrier between the veil.
And Tiberius, by the way, you also read on the notes that they didn't find any bodies in the commons, so that way they didn't know. So you may want to... The only bodies they found were still in the fire district.
The only bodies they truly found were in the fire district. They didn't find anything in the commons. That's why they don't know about the attacks. Honestly, have you two been in this?
Sure, what I'm saying is, we're talking about a creature coming through from your world into our world, and nobody was aware of it.
Various sort of starts to pace, and his ears are pinned back, and he's all like, they were wearing the same robes as the other guild member we ran across.
You ran across a one before this?
Right, I believe. Turned to dust once it was dispatched.
We also... I think I know why there were no bodies. Because
Where?
either they were taken, used, or dispersed once, well, they did whatever they did.
Well, they had that funny land, really. I think
Yes.
that it kind of consumed.
Tiberius, you do remember rather specifically, especially also you, Rose, that the bodies that the souls were extracted from, they did start to dissipate. So that might be why they didn't find any bodies in the commons.
Right. But I mean, they should have at least seen signs of, scuffles then, like blood stains, or I don't know, maybe burn marks in a certain alleyway.
I mean, prestidigitation is a thing.
It is.
Like, I mean,
They
I
would
don't
see burn marks in the
See,
alleyway,
see when it comes. I don't know from you two, from where you come from, how criminal proceedings seem to be handled, but typically you try to at least mark down, I don't know, signs of evidence or something, or I mean that's the point. There's Rose just kind of like rubbing their head and just kind of, you can kind of tell they're trying to get the gears in their head meshing while they're trying to like ration this all out.
Roll me an intelligence, Rose. I want to see something.
Oh boy.
Just straight intelligence. Okay. Rose, you're racking your brain. You're racking your brain over this. It's like, why would there be no bodies? Why would there be no signs of it? And then you pause. What if it was on purpose? What if they were trying to cover their tracks to a point where no one would be able to follow them? It's so simple. They were covering their tracks.
Rose pauses for a moment and holds a finger up. Unless the guerrilla members we came across were the only ones they saw there. What if they had a cleanup crew of sorts? I mean, it's reasonable given the time before the guards would have probably gotten another contingency over in to investigate that. What if they had someone come in and disperse of any potential evidence?
Well, what was the whole point of this attack? Was anything taken? Was anybody specifically
Lights from the bodies. I'm assuming that it was probably something important, either magic, a soul, something like that. But they took something.
And they took from what? Like, how many bodies are we talking?
At least 6.
I'd say about 6.
More than that, you saw several guards. We're talking upwards of 10 plus guards that you saw, not including the
Right.
5 that you witnessed get merged.
Right.
So something came in and just slaughtered several guards.
At least they looked like guards. Some of them might have been civilians. You don't know. You didn't inspect the bodies.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, they didn't inspect the bodies.
Sure, not enough time.
We did have an agitated baby Tarask.
You did.
Yes. We don't mention that in character.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
don't mention that in character. Don't mention that because
You should, it's great.
I was like, and now I've got my payday.
Right. There were a whole bunch of bodies, locals to commons, I assume, that are unaccounted for. Then, of course, there's a 5 that turned into a monstrosity that we dispatched then. So, probably about as far as anyone figures, it was a really, really messed up snatch and grab.
roll me perception, all of you.
Oh no. Oh no.
Honestly, do any of your kind have any kind of scrying ability?
No!
I see nothing. We see nothing.
Tiberius does better than all of us.
Have you seen the
Can you roll me a wisdom save?
Oh, crap.
Wait, me?
Tiberius, roll me a wisdom save.
Okay, also that you were supposed to.
Do I use my last lucky?
It's up to you.
Oh my god, yes, I have to. It's -1.
No, roll it anyway.
Okay, just barely. Tiberius, as they're kind of all talking about this, you feel a strange twinge on the edge of your mind. You recognize that's a scrying spell, and you fight back against it, pushing it away.
Not now, mother.
No, that wasn't your mother. That
I know.
was something from inside of this world. But something was definitely trying to scry you just now.
Did he
Specifically,
actually say that?
Or the
It's up to you.
I'm gonna take that as me personally, because it's Tiberius, and it has to be about. I said, anyone else feel that?
I was like, no, only me.
What?
What now?
A stiff breeze. That's all.
Right. Okay, anyway, so about the horrible monstrosity killing people.
Yes, that one other long-eared individual in the guild robes. It took 5 guards and basically slammed their souls together and outspit something from Various' nightmares, I assume.
It's a mythological creature.
It's a
Not
super
quite
strong-
exactly the same, but
So it's something using soul magic.
I guess that's the idea, using soul
I'm not
magic.
sure that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, except it's using soul magic to create impures at will.
I was pretty sure that they had already taken the souls, so it would have meant that they just cobbled something together like an eidolon.
All about those, wouldn't you, Various?
Apparently,
Family,
it
that's all I'm
wasn't
saying.
him.
Come now, if he actually understands this stuff, this is a bonus for us.
It depends. I didn't exactly get a good look at it.
Rose.
Mhm.
Who in your knowledge would have the ability to scry on individuals, or in locations, or places that might have been used for soul magic, as you call it?
What would Rose know about individuals that have scrying abilities?
From your background, Rose, you know that almost every single guild member has the ability to use scrying magic. but they have to be within a certain amount of distance.
Out of character, how bad is the guild?
Really
Bad. Bad.
Really bad.
Is it like the super bad guys?
They're basically, consider them a multi-universal dimensional cult based around the Archmage who is trying to destroy the planes and get the magic for himself while brainwashing people into believing this place is full of monsters that need to be either controlled or killed.
So like he's coming in and out of the elemental planes.
They can
trying to
come
summon-
in. They know how to get in. It's basically guerrilla warfare at the moment.
Really?
Yeah.
They're terrorists.
They're terrorists, yes.
Okay, good to know.
But the thing is, the people who are working with the guild don't know any better. They think
For
that
the
they're
most
doing
part.
they think they're saving their universe, their worlds from these quote unquote monsters.
Oh god, that's even worse.
Yeah, but they're basically terrorists, brainwashed terrorists. But yeah, Rose, when it comes down to it, you know that every single member of the guild is at least top to scry, but they have to be within a certain amount of feet. You know the minimal at the basic level, at least 30 feet.
Well, okay, Rose looks over to Tibbs. Basically, mostly anyone that probably wants us dead right about now would know how to scry then. Why bring that up out of the blue?
For two reasons. One, we might be able to employ one of those people to actually use their scrying ability at that location to see if perhaps we can find something about it. And two, because someone just tried to scry up.
What?
Rose instantly casts Detect Magic.
Okay, go ahead and cast it, and then roll me a 1d100.
Of course.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
Hey!
Woohoo! Nice.
Rose, within 30 feet of you don't sense anything immediate. But there is a lingering of magic, but it's too far away for you to completely pinpoint.
Do I
So
have...
this isn't a lower ranked mage.
Okay, do I have any sort of general sense of what direction was projected from?
You kind of get the sense that it came from downstairs, but below the first floor. Somewhere in that general area.
Is that an
But it's
off-limits
in the
area?
building. But it's in the building.
Rose just kind of side-eyes the other three then.
What are
Follow
we
me.
looking for?
Follow me. Act like you don't know anything.
What am I keeping my eyes open for, Rose?
There's a presence under us somewhere then, something I think just tried to do a peekaboo on us.
Oh. Is it going to be dumb enough to wear the blue robes?
So
We
you head
shall
down
see.
So you head down to the first floor.
Mhm.
Things seem normal. And there is indeed the stairwell does indeed go down further.
Is Detect Magic, is it kind of acting like a Geiger counter? Like, is Rose getting a more consistent
It's getting
signal?
stronger.
Okay.
It's getting stronger, yes.
So Various is going to prepare to summon Belloa, just in
Okay.
case.
Okay.
Alright, but yeah, we'll continue following that down then.
Okay. You go down one more floor and it is getting stronger, but it continues to go down deeper.
Is there any individuals that I'm seeing as I'm getting closer then? Anyone
No.
particular? Okay.
In fact, it's actually bizarrely quiet. I also forgot to make this particular thing, so let me do this real quick. This is... But, yeah, you notice that all of a sudden, the moment you pass down into what seems to be the second basement floor, everything goes bizarrely quiet. Oops, I just yeeted myself out of roll 20, thanks.
Oh
It would be very quiet because Oh God.
We temporarily lost the DM.
Well, welcome back. You missed the 0.3 seconds of anarchy.
I need to.
We flipped the bitch.
One second. I'm gonna try and open. Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So let me do. As you continue heading downwards, you notice that there is no more branching doorways. The stairwell continues heading downwards. But the presence you're getting, Rose, is getting stronger.
All right. Question: does detect magic? Would it be able to know if there was? Would it be able to see if there was another scrying attempt on us then? In this time?
Yes.
Okay. And there has
Nothing has happened again yet.
nothing. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, still prominent that then.
Yeah. It's actually getting stronger to the point where it almost feels like it's not coming from a point, but from a place.
Huh.
Do you keep going down? Or do you turn back?
I'm gonna keep going down, but I am going to attempt to try to do it stealthy from this point on.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
Should we as well?
If you want to, yes.
Oh, good.
Why, hello, Mr. Bond.
As a result of that, I need to do this.
Oh no. Oh no.
Still.
Your rolls are full of shit tonight, Jim.
Everyone's rolls, jeez. Okay. You keep actually going deeper to a point where it almost feels as if the stairwell just keeps going down and down and down. But one thing you are starting to notice is that there's less and less light.
Oh no, it's an SCP!
If you want to, all of you make a perception roll for me too. Okay.
Gosh darn it!
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
No!
There it is.
There it is.
Okay,
There we go.
actually, you don't need a very high DC. Everyone but Tiberius sees this, but
Like stealthy.
as you are heading down, you notice that the pale gray walls that are typical of the Foundry are becoming more blue, and you actually see dark straight lines running through several pieces of it.
Would I recognize this?
You do. You
All
recognize it from the strange experience you had earlier today.
I can't talk about it.
Mm-mm.
What is going on here? What have you guys dragged me into?
Just stick close.
Eventually, the stairwell actually begins to level out, and you are basically greeted with what seems to be a flat floor now at the very base and a hallway leading straight forward. Now, this hallway is dark, but at the very end, you see a soft blue light.
I don't think we're in danger.
How strong is my detect magic going off at this point?
It's overwhelming. To a point it's actually making your head hurt.
Guys, I think we're reaching the epicenter.
Let's just keep going. I can't. He grumbles and his fur is bristling.
What are you? This is no time to get upset about random shit.
I can't talk about it.
Are you going to move through the hallway?
Yep.
Okay. As you move through the hallway, you see more of those lines sort of moving forward until eventually the hallway opens up into this huge, like almost impassably huge, almost chasm-like area in front of you with massive pillars that seem to spread on forever. And far, far ahead, that seems almost impossible to reach, is a soft blue light. But on the edges of everything else, there's a creeping darkness that you can't seem to see past.
Huh. This is something, alright.
This doesn't feel overly good.
Well, considering that this is where that magic that tried to look at us probably originated from, it's probably not. But we're here now, so...
Oh, good!
Various is gonna take the lead. And
Okay.
just keep walking.
Tiberius, what are you doing?
Everything is perfectly fine. Or he's not even there. The reason his
What are Tiberius's eyes seeing?
Hmm?
What are Tiberius's eyes seeing?
Everything is magic down here. Everything.
Oh, good.
The
And
ground.
it's all quiet?
It's very, very quiet.
And very he believes we're safe?
As a case of, it feels unsettlingly quiet, like you're being watched,
Well,
and
okay,
anything
then.
that seems to be in there is holding its breath.
Rose
Tiberius is
is...
going to cup in front of his mouth and say, "Hello!"
As you do that, you notice that
does you have a death wish?
you notice that your voice actually doesn't travel here. There's no echo. It's almost as if only the people in your direct vicinity can hear you. It's odd.
Strange.
Nye's gonna grab Tiberius by the collar. Are you insane?
What? Various said it's perfectly fine.
You don't go into an unknown place and announce where you are.
Well, how else are people supposed to know that they're to greet us? Honestly.
They're not going to greet you. They're going to gut you.
Do you move forward, or what are you doing?
I'm currently manhandled by the gangster chick, so
Yeah, manhandled's a good word for that.
and Various is just
Don't make me
still
clam
walking.
you.
Rose at this point drops the concentration on detect magic before they get a migraine.
Okay, that's a good call.
we just move forward. Obviously, whatever's down here is either trapped or it's going to try and kill us. These are the two things that are going to happen. One,
Well, you sitting here yelling out our position doesn't help much.
Various, you've been walking, right?
Yeah.
You don't hear them at all. You can look back and see them, but you can't hear them. They seem to be talking, but you can't hear them at all.
Various just sees like random pantomimes in the distance, I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah, basically.
and they're shaking.
Angry pantomiming.
There's vigorous shaking happening to Tiberius, I believe.
He's
Arm flailing and be like, what the?
Various looks forward and quietly goes, "Are you there?"
There's no answer.
Now, something was scrying us. It's only our duty to go and find out whom. They could be friendly. I mean, they were trying to scry yours truly, and who would do
If
that?
they
to
were
their friend?
trying
They
to
can
strike us, they're probably not friendly, because if they were friendly, they would come and say hello.
only you, but outsiders around here aren't quite all taken.
All right, look, we can look. We
Iglesias knows. How have you lived this long?
Finally, Rose and I have something to bond over.
Rose is already walking away.
Thank you. Yeah. Now let's go. Adventure awaits.
Oh, what have I gotten myself into?
Adventure, I said. Let's go. Please let go of it.
Sigh!
I was gonna finish one last thing because I forgot about. I didn't know you guys were gonna come down here, so I wasn't exactly prepared. But
Cool.
okay, so I gotta make a duplicate of that. Close that. Okay. Yeah, it just keeps going. There's just pillars, darkness, but the light does seem to be getting brighter the further along you move.
Not quite sure if we should be going towards the light.
Oh, why not? Look, I'm sure both you and I are familiar with walking towards the light here, but I don't think it's going to mean that exactly.
See, that's kind of my point. We already kicked the bucket once before, and if we do it again here, we're gone? And I don't know about you, but I got a pretty sweet gig, and I don't really want to be gone.
As you guys kind of wind your way through the pillars, eventually you actually see the floor shift a little bit. Now it seems to be there's this massive, almost titanic pathway with circular lights kind of illuminating the path forward. And there is a break in the pillars.
Various is gonna keep going.
Keep going.
After passing several more pillars, you actually see where the focal point of the light is. It is a massive door. And there's someone standing in front of it.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Well,
This is fine. This is completely fine. Nothing
See?
bad can happen here.
Nothing bad has happened. This is perfectly fine. This is an individual wanting to speak to us, or else they would have already gutted one. Looking at Euros.
well, it's nice to know that the ominous feeling is now entirely valid.
Can you all make me a perception check for me, please?
Like 70 guns. And 30 people wielding them.
Who's making perception check?
All of you.
Oh, joy.
I don't want to perceive.
The rolls have returned.
Okay. Tiberius, now you really are too concerned with the actual appearance of the area. It all looks very ominous, very mechanical, it's unsettling. Rose, you actually kind of push past that to actually look at the figure that's at this massive door, for one. The door is closed, for one, but they seem to just be leaning against it, and it almost looks like a human. You kind of get a little closer to see what they look like. They're very pale. They kind of are in rather disheveled clothing with a choker around their neck, kind of messy black with blonde-tipped hair, and there is a stick hanging from their lips, and they're smirking at you. But they're leaning very casually against the door with their hands stuffed into their pockets.
Rose is going to, since Various was already taking the lead, nudge Various ever so forward.
The bravest.
Various is not exactly brave. It's just he's at that point that he's been stressed out over the last couple days.
No, I meant Rose was brave because he's pushing poor Various forward.
Oh.
He's pulling a Gates. Go, Jimmy, check for sharks.
Oh my god.
That actually happened to Jim as a kid with his brother.
Oh.
Little 7-year-old me being pushed into the water by my brother saying, check for sharks. Yep.
Check for traps.
What are brothers for?
Oh no. But okay, sorry. Various
Okay.
is gonna keep going.
And yeah, as you get closer, you see this figure too.
He's
He's just kind of watching you.
he sort of slows down a little bit.
They're not wearing blue and white robes. In fact, they're actually wearing a lot of black with very baggy, almost cargo-looking short pants on.
He's slowed down, but he's still going a little bit and stopping at a respectful distance.
Okay. Figure hasn't said anything. He's just watching you. Rapidly approaching rabbit. Does anyone want to do anything?
Rose is just going to yell over towards them. Hey, what's with the peep show?
Guy's gonna peek out from behind her and be like, "What are you doing?"
The figure kind of takes the stick-like object out of his mouth and seems to tap some ash onto the ground. You do see kind of smoke billowing from it. It's like, just thought to check in to see what the new little toys are doing.
Say what?
Toys. You.
Toys?
Yeah.
And who exactly are you?
Oh, that's the best way to put this. He kind of takes another long drag of the stick and just exhales this cloud of smoke. You can call me Sticks. I'm a mutual friend of someone you've recently met.
And who might that be, Mr. Sticks?
Kind of looks at.
I say from behind Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Look you?
He kind of looks over at you, Nye. It's like, well, for one, you're new, but I was talking more to the walking rabbits.
We're not rabbits.
So
It's
how
just-
do you know us exactly? I'm not following.
I know a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that I'm pretty sure you can't say, right? Having some trouble with that? I thought
The
so.
shared dirty look from Various and Tiberius.
Try this for me. Try saying its name. You actually find that you're able to.
What did it tell us?
It didn't
That it
say
didn't
anything.
have one?
It didn't have a name.
Game are you playing?
It said it didn't have a name.
And kind of motions with its hands like, so you can actually talk about it down here?
Wait, we
Oh,
can?
thank goodness.
It's
And I look at Rose. What is it?
Rose, and now you have no clue.
What is going on? What happened to that guy's head?
We can speak about what we saw, but we can't outside of these. I'm very confused. Why is this happening?
Kind of shrugs a little. It's like, it's kind of how the laws of this whole place works, you know? The laws
but
down
why
here are its
confused?
own. Well, the laws down here belong to it, not the Lord's. It can do whatever it wants down here. If it wants its name to be known, it'll be known.
Wait. So, were you scrying, or was it scrying?
That was me. I'm actually surprised you caught on to it. That was it's pretty good there. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I was not trying to hide it. So the fact that only one of you noticed is pretty hilarious.
Of course, it'd be me. I'm a Vermont. That's how it works.
Alright, you say the laws are different down here. Just what is down here exactly? What is this place?
Kind of raises a hand up and wraps the back of his hand against the door. You hear just loud, reverberating, metalling knock sounds like this.
And what is that?
It's a door, obviously.
I know that.
Well, it's more of what's behind the door, you know.
So what's behind the door?
He kind of looks to the side for a bit, kind of at a panel, and you'll actually go over to it and kind of, you see it opens up into a keypad. You kind of type something into it and kind of look over it for a few seconds. He seems to be thinking about something.
There was something we talked to when we got our sigil stones.
Oh, yeah, that's normal. That happens every time. It's got to make sure that you're not working for the guild and all. You're not trying to completely destroy everything. Basic bullshit.
Had to kill us. Twice, as far as I'm concerned.
He kind of turns and looks at you all. It's like, no, it hasn't.
No, he means the guild.
Oh, no, yeah, they're dicks.
Well, everybody knows that.
Do you know the extent of it all, though?
Do
Like,
you
I'm
want to
not-
tell me?
I mean, where I'm from originally, terrorists are essentially what I would call them, honestly, except I'd say worse. Like, mega terrorists. Except worse. The way he seems to be talking, he seems to be stoned. At least that's how he seems to be acting.
Insight check?
Sure. You're getting nothing, Rose. You're trying to feel this guy out, but there's something stopping you. You can't read him.
Alright, well, okay, fine. You know that the guild sucks. I mean, and anyone worth around their salt around these parts does know then. But if you were able to peer in on us, then I suppose maybe you've probably know if guilds has had any activity around these parts lately.
Of course they have. You kidding? I was actually surprised they had the balls to act last night.
So it was the guild that caused all that mayhem last night.
Part of it, yeah.
What do you mean part of it?
Yeah, in
He
case
kind of frowns. It's like, I'm sure you've noticed that there's been something off about your magic, huh?
What magic?
Nothing?
He's actually looking at you, Rose.
go on.
That's partially their fault. And they just so happened to be planning something last night and decided that, hey, the shit that we've been working with and messing with went off, so we're gonna make our move. And that's what they did.
So you're saying that magical going all tipsy, crazy, or whatever has something to do with them?
Yeah. At least that's what I think. That's what I've been noticing. I haven't been looking at it as much as some of the others I'm working with have been. My main thing is just to keep watch for breaches.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose keep watch in the same way that you're keeping watch on us.
He kind of smiles and taps his nose.
What would you
We
expect us to do?
all got our jobs. He'll look at Tiberius. It's like awfully quiet there for someone who's usually quite loud.
So if we're your toys, what exactly are you expecting of us?
Wait, what? I didn't hear you.
If we're your toys, what exactly are you expecting from us?
You're not my toys. It's just what I call, whoever it's got in its sights right now.
What is it exactly?
Again, he looks back at the door.
So you're saying a door is controlling them.
It's more what's behind it.
What's behind the door?
I think he's asking if we can see it.
He kind of looks ready to say something, but it's like, it's not time yet for that. Not yet. Maybe when you get a little bit more under your belts, once you start figuring out what the hell's going on around here, maybe you'll get to go past that. Not right now, though.
Well, that sounds reassuring.
It's for your own good.
So wait, do you know about the attack last night? Which means you could give us an idea as to where we should go in order to... How do I put it? Rose?
I'm sorry, what was Tibbs asking Rose?
I want to know how we could put this lightly. We want to kill the person that attacked us? We want to question them? What exactly is the idea around it? Murdering guild seems fine, yes?
I mean,
Is that even something that's doable? Isn't the guild gigantic?
Yeah, they're huge. Multi-universal, multi-dimensional. They're all over the place. Tons of people brainwashed. They'll pay in mind the head honcho tends to stay pretty well hidden. It's kind of hard to take off the head of the snake when the snake's head's not showing itself.
Maybe we should find a way to find this snake head.
Tried it. Hasn't worked so far. Trust me. And if I can't find something, if someone like me can't find this shit, you ain't finding it.
Well, how do we know you're good at finding anything, Mr. Sticks? I mean, you look like a hobo who showed up.
You look like a hobo.
He kind of smirks, and you actually see for a very brief second, it's as if a reality glitches around him. And for a split second, that hobo's not there anymore. It's this massive, it's this massive, armored, angelic figure.
Before it goes super not right.
Right as it goes back to the hobo-looking teenager. It's like, looks deceiving.
I retract my previous statement. Continue.
Darius sort of backs up a bit.
All right, Hobo Angel, what do you want us to do?
Listen, Bunny Frou-Frou, I'm on your side, alright?
Can we stop calling me a bunny or a rabbit?
You have to understand where I'm from. Rabbits are literally tiny little things that jump along the ground and are kept as pets.
Great.
You've been a pet for years, Various. Let's be honest.
That sounds amazing.
He kind of makes a motion with his hands, like very lazily. He kind of makes this really small motion with his hands, kind of judging the size. They're kind of like that big. They're kind of small.
You could cuddle it and hope it wouldn't die.
Yeah.
Poison.
So, are we honestly speaking to a being here that is way beyond our comprehension, and we are just standing here because
you got curious. Curiosity is what leads you down these kind of paths, after all. But yeah, Sounds about right. Now the question is, what exactly are you looking for? Like, sure, my scrying attempt was kind of botched, but I wasn't even trying. I mean, if I was actually trying, you would not have known. But that's the big
Well,
question.
I mean, the reason we all end up down here was to find out what Big Brother was up to. And
I think we were
here
all
are.
expecting you to be someone else.
Really?
So
least that
should
long-
we like report to you from now on, Matt?
What?
I don't know. I'm just kind of confused on how this whole thing is going. Normally, when somebody of massive power shows up, they're expecting some sort of favor or deal. So what exactly do you want from us?
Nothing. I'm just watching you. Just watching to make sure that you don't do something stupid, or maybe I'm just bored.
Do something stupid, honestly.
If you hadn't just shown us your angelic gleam a few moments ago, that would be really creepy.
He kind of smirks at this. Let's just say that. Well, one, I'm bored. I'm definitely bored, so I figured I'd kind of peek in to see exactly what's up. But my question to you is, where exactly do you think you want to go? What is your role in all this? What do you hope to accomplish?
Various raises a hand.
Mm-hmm.
So you're good at scrying, yes?
I'm good at a lot of stuff.
How could we maybe get a favor from you?
I don't work that way.
Shh. He huffs.
Honestly, at this point, I just prefer to, how do I put this, survive and enjoy life. Which I do quite well, so I don't think I need your help with that. But the rest of us, what about you, Rose? What do you need? What is your thought in all this? Better jacket? Perhaps a fashion sense at all?
If I wanted to change, understand that this is basically part of me like my skin. If I wanted to do something else, I could just manifest it.
Oh, so it's a choice. I see.
But
That's not what I was getting at. I meant your role in all this. You know something's happening. Are you going to follow it? Are you going to ignore it? Are you going to let someone else take it?
I promise.
well, seeing as how the guild has decided to make their move, then
I mean, you could just leave it to the guards, leave it to the lords.
Oh, please, the guards are useless. We already saw that firsthand.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
yeah,
You know that's actually more a volunteer work, right?
They're pretty much like, the door already is closed.
Well, it is volunteer work, so...
So they're not your best and brightest? Oh, that explains a lot.
I mean, there's some in there that are doing it for, like, legitimate reasons, but...
So what you're saying is we gotta find the good guard.
He kind of makes that face.
All right, fine. Let's just Let's just cut to the chase here. Like I was saying, I've seen the guild wants to come on our doorstep. I want to play their game, and I want to beat them at it.
Do you even know what kind of game it is?
You want to take on the guild?
Well, I mean, let's see. Soul possession, wanton murder, creating otherworldly monstrosities. Yeah,
They're doing more than that, you know that, right?
Oh, well, I mean, duh, it's means to a purpose.
I mean, Yeah, the soul sucking is something but that's been more of a side project. There's actually, you seem to be missing what's actually happening.
Do you know what's actually happening?
Yeah, I do.
Can you tell us? Maybe give us a means
part of it,
out?
he's leaning against the door, his arms are crossed, but he kind of moves one hand out, kind of pointing. He's like, part of me wants to watch you figure this out, but the other part is like, but I could also tell him and then send him on the right path, but that's boring.
What about nudging us towards the right path so we can figure it out ourselves that way? Because right now our wheels are just spinning and I have no idea what's going on. I just got here today.
Yeah, you seem to be needs this little girl. That's fine. Sometimes a fresh pair of eyes is what everyone needs. But I mean, you've got the pieces. You just gotta know what order they go in.
What about you? Your sister might be something of importance to you, don't you think?
There's a sharp intake of breath.
Struck a nerve, have I?
Yeah, didn't you say you knew something or other that was there?
Yes. He's obviously very reluctant to talk about it. And doesn't like eyes suddenly being on him.
Tiberius knows.
I like how smug you sounded.
Look, it's not helping any of us if there's anything you know about this shit that's going down then. Because, I mean, I don't know, you heard the, I don't know, kid, whatever here, and I use kid very lightly, but
I really
if you hold
call him a kid there, sugar.
I said because I say that lightly.
Nah, kid sounds about right.
Okay.
They say they
fine.
They say they hold the piece of the puzzle. What good is it if we're not able to see those pieces?
Well, think about what you've seen so far.
I mean,
Obviously back home.
I mean, we've seen what's elapsed here, of course, then, but
Nye's gonna listen very intently right now.
Rose
Yes,
is
what
just...
have you seen so far? Please ignore the pad of paper I'm pulling out.
Well, let's start listing them off. You saw magic acting kind of wonky. You saw shit that shouldn't be showing up in the Foundry. He's kind of listing them off and holding up fingers. It's like you saw primordials being murdered in cold blood and their souls getting sucked out and their bodies dissipating. You saw someone being able to merge said souls into one horrific monster. One might think those are all connected somehow. But why? What could soul second? What in the world could magic destabilizing have to do with each other?
Oh, break apart the planes!
Mm-hmm. Not bad.
Destabilize the planes, shatter them. Lords can't do anything against it. Perfect for an invasion or taking on the magic.
Oh, son of a bitch. So...
How long have you guys known this stuff?
Wait. So basically, the guild is trying to enact No 2.0.
You just see him sarcastically clapping. Give the fire a damn prize.
Well, that's not good. That's really not good.
I mean, it worked the first time.
Okay, so
This time, though, they're not doing just one, though.
Oh,
but wait, what do you mean Null? So we've heard of Null before with the small Blue Lord.
Alright, so I know you in particular saw this. You remember the mural that you saw?
How did you know that?
He smiles. It's like, I know a lot of shit.
Okay, so I'm hearing a lot of different things now. I'm hearing about null, I'm hearing about positive, or I mean negative. What is all of this?
A lot of shit and a huge broken ass system. But let's focus on the main points here. Positive and negative, that's its own thing. Trust me, you do not want to get into that barrel of worms. That is abs. That's not my it's not my department. I think it would be the best way to put that. That's old Ama's. But
like, oh,
he's staring at you with a raised brow.
Would he know? Did they mention Amadeus before?
They did. They did.
Ama is in. Oh, it's probably not the same person.
He kind of is giving you that look of like, go on.
Anyway, keep going.
Okay. But I don't think Mr. Straight Ears there paid attention as much as you did to the mural, but basically what your fire friend there has explained was a long ass time ago. The guild did something very similar to this, except they were a bit more blunt force on it. They just went out and slaughtered an entire element. Every single soul.
How?
It's not hard. It really is not. But suffice to say, it caused such a huge backlash of energy. Because, well, when all the primordials in the elven element are dead, no one's there to control it, so it just kind of goes wild. And that kind of ripped the multiverse a new one. And damaged the planes. But that was just one element.
You said they're trying to do this on a grander scale now. How many elements are we talking?
All of them.
I'm sorry, what?
All of them.
Shouldn't we notify the lords of this? Seems like something they might want to know about.
You don't think we haven't tried?
I mean, we do have Leonard's ear.
That's the only lord that truly cares about it.
You see, the thing with the lords is that they tend to have their eyes turned out to a grander scale. They don't notice when something more deep is happening.
Yes, but if the entire element gets destroyed, don't they also get destroyed?
Yep, but here's the thing. Much like the last time, they're not going to know until it's too late. Especially for the fact that they're being way more subtle this time.
Well,
I'm
wouldn't
sure you've
the idea of
noticed.
self-preservation, because the guild is trying to come in and slaughter all of us, be something you might want to know if you're ruling over everybody?
Like I said,
I'm just saying out loud.
And like I said,
know if I was a lord, I'd want to know if someone was trying to kill me and all my people.
This is something they deal with on a daily basis. Pay in mind. The guild puts on a front. A rather aggressive front, but who's to say that they're not blind to what's happening in the back scenes? I mean, no one knows me and my group act at all. In fact, most people know me as just one of the guitarists behind Corvus's band. No one knows my job.
But if the guild already did this once before, like you said in the past, and there's a chance they could do it again, is that not something the Lord should be made aware of because it had already had an impact?
Again, do you think we haven't tried to alert them? We have.
But do you have the ear of any of the Lords? You don't have the ear, you're not really going to get far.
Not me. But the one behind me does.
That's a door.
The thing beyond the door.
It sounds like it's assassination attempts. It happens so often that you kind of grow numb to it.
He points at Tiberius. Bingo.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a poor assassin then.
That's why you switch tactics. That's why you become more subtle. Why you don't let them know. Why you make it seem as if it's so insignificant that they ignore it until it's too late.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so basically the guild
It's
first
the
did.
long con.
It's the long game. Yeah. But that long game has been in play for a long time. And now we're
Has
starting
been
to
in
see it
place
come up.
since the first time this happened?
On this particular scale and what's happening, this is the first.
Oh boy.
I mean, it even took us by surprise.
Okay, so then how can we do anything to help this?
We're the random chance.
Yes, but we don't have any real power.
But that's
We
it.
don't
We're
have-
the monkey rat. You don't get it.
We don't have power, but we still have our brains. Basically, what they're saying is, round one, the guild decided Blitzkrieg no, now they're going to guerrilla tactics. So it's basically battle of subterfuge.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to play a battle of subterfuge if you don't know what the target is.
I can give you a bit of a hint, but again, I don't know all the details. That's, again, with Emma.
Well, point us in a direction and we can try to thwart it.
I mean, Leonard knows a few things. He probably knows some, not everything. It's really up to you who you decide to ask. I'm just an observer.
Promise
All
already
right.
to help him.
Fine. So basically, if we can't find the metaphorical head of the snake, then we start by finding its tail.
Yep. I mean, I wouldn't say try hoping for something as grand as taking out the Archmagister, because no one's gonna frickin' do that. No one's been able to. Not even Moderat himself. And he's tried. And he's been beaten.
Oh, we actually found him.
And he got his ass kicked.
Lovely. Like I said, way above our pay grade.
That's why you shouldn't be aiming at that. What I'm saying is that you need to dial back and look at what's in front of you.
What about some lieutenants? Throw a wrench into their plans of how they plan to disrupt everything.
Exactly. And you gotta find out what that is.
Well, first things first, find out who or what they're using to try to steal the magic.
Not stealing it.
Or
Disrupting
absorbing it?
Disrupting. Kind of like a radio jammer. This is the best way I've felt this.
So basically, if there's no primordials, no lords to control magic, then it's a free market for whoever.
I wouldn't say a free market. It's more of a giant multi-dimensional nuclear bomb.
Everything gets destroyed.
Because the thing is that the guild master, especially him, thinks it can all be controlled. It can't. He's that delusional. What will happen, what will actually happen is everything.
Who's the guild master?
I don't know. Personally,
It's not the Archmage. That's somebody else,
Yeah.
right?
no, it's the same person.
Yeah, when it comes to magical schemes, guilds, I mean, not guilds, but cults don't exactly are the sharpest tools in the shed about that.
And in fact, Rose, with your time with them, not even you learned who it was. They kept their identities so secretive that not even the higher-ups knew their name or what they looked like. Some people even debated if he even existed at all.
Sure.
Yeah, but they think they can just take a bunch of wild magic, shove it into their shorts, when they realize it's basically gonna blow out their ass, and pretty much the rest of reality. So that's fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would go speak to Leonard right away then.
You can speak to Leonard, you can speak to a lot of people. Question is, who do you trust more? Who do you think has more information? Who do you think can point you in the right direction? That's for you to decide.
Honestly, I'm still new here.
Well, I know where my next stop is.
Well, what about your friends?
I believe we should follow Rose.
Yeah, we're friends.
They got us this far.
Alright. Well, thanks for the insight, Deep Throat. It's a pleasure.
Sound very deep. His name is Styx.
His name is Styx.
Right, Styx. Yeah, hopefully eventually you and whatever's behind 20 tons of whatever unobtainium that is there can, maybe eventually peer into something and not necessarily our mundane lives, but you do you.
No guarantees, but your floppy-eared friend's been quite quiet. You okay there?
Yes. I'm fine.
Hey, look, don't feel bad. They get into everyone's minds. Doesn't matter if you're strong-willed, weak-willed, doesn't matter if you have the best intentions or not. They worm their way in, no matter what. Sometimes they can be saved. Other times you just gotta learn that you gotta let go.
He sort of turns away a bit. He's obviously not feeling great.
Just take a step back, take a breath. Try and think of it rationally. Try and think about what she would have wanted. And with that, he actually turns around, and the door opens, and he passes right through it, and it closes behind him.
That was different.
So, who's hungry?
I'm famished.
So
You do know you don't have a stomach anymore, right?
I am well aware, but after that, I need something.
Well, don't know about the rest of you, but I'm heading back over to Leonard. Because, like they said, Leonard's the one who put us on this goose chase to begin with, so obviously he's gotta know if he's...
Hopefully he does.
he does. I spoke with him.
Did you now?
Say
That's
what?
right. We had a nice chat.
Oh no.
And did he enlighten you with anything about possible total plane destruction?
Yes, he did quite. Oh, did I not mention that?
Then I guess we need to speak to Leonard.
It's not the first time Leonard would have been loose-lipped with an outsider, trust me.
Lead the way, Rose.
All right, Rose, lead the way.
I have no idea how to get back out of here.
I don't know the way we came then, that seems to make sense to me.
Yep, you can head back the way you came.
And that's what Rose is going to do.
Mm-hmm. You kind of start heading away from the door, and eventually it begins to fade behind you as you head what seems to be into the darkness itself, to a point where the pillars actually vanish, and it's almost as if you're walking in nothing but darkness.
I don't like this.
Oh, please, it's not as scary as the halls back home. Servitors staring you with their blank eyes from the corners.
Oh, the servitors.
See? I've lightened your day already.
And
No, that does-
eventually... Go ahead.
Oh.
Eventually, you start to see that there is a light ahead of you. And much to your surprise, you actually exit out of what seems to be an alleyway into the Fadar Commons.
Oh,
What?
this
Oh.
is not where we were before.
And in order to double check where you came from, you look back into the alleyway you just came from, and it just is the alleyway. Where you came from is gone.
Huh. So, that happened? To Leonard?
To Leonard.
To Leonard.
Yeah.
You don't seem too happy about this. It's not every day we're given a wonderful mission to save creation. You
And
should be thrilled.
do you head back up to the Foundry streets?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Leonard, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's his idea to go to the fire district.
Okay, cool. On your way up, you actually kind of see a gathering of people outside of what looks to be a stall. Do you investigate or do you walk past it?
My interest is always peaked and stuff like that. I'll take a quick peek and see what it is.
Okay.
Where's she going?
The stall is actually owned by a water primordial, and it looks to be a gambling game.
Oh, no.
Ooh, yes.
It looks to be a game of higher or lower. And there's several other primordials and outsiders playing for various different things, but mostly blue chips, which are the water primordial currency. It seems to be, just seems to be this little gambling tent that's been set up on the side.
Right. This will only take 2 minutes.
Okay, so if Nye's playing, Rose is going to sit back a little bit within the crowd and is going to carefully watch the dealer.
Okay. Go ahead and perception for me, Rose.
Oof.
Yeah. There's way too many people. There's a lot of people playing many different games. There's several different dealers. It's almost hard to kind of pinpoint where Nye is in the crowd because you haven't quite gotten used to their appearance yet. Nye, go ahead and roll me a 1d20.
1d20?
Yeah, 1d20. Okay. You kind of get into one of the tables. There's several other people around you, but you know this game. This is an easy as hell game, especially since you know the sleight of hands that several water dealers tend to use in order to make sure the house wins. You're able to call their bluff on several of the rounds, even coming out a bit on top as you walk away with about, I'd say, 10 extra blue casino chips.
Ooh.
So let me add that to your inventory.
Super nice.
So let me add 10 casino chips. There you go. Okay. That was your encounter on your way. Unless anyone else wants to play.
Too busy trying to make Various not be so gloom and doom all the time.
Oh.
I said we'd save
Oh,
her
did
if we
you-
could. If not, then we'll have to put her in the ground, and that's what she would have wanted.
Rose just kind of sees Nye come back with the winnings. Yeah, that figures.
Oh, come on. I've been a dealer of that game before in Glacius.
Yeah, I've
Those guys are doing it wrong.
I've heard the stories of those who try to beat the house, so to speak.
You try to beat the house beats you.
Exactly. That's why I work for the house.
And if you're in Oz, you might get beaten with the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you.
Thanks for everyone.
Sorry, that was OC.
That's fine. That's fine. No, it's not wrong.
Yeah, even though we don't have bones in our legs, they'll still find a way to break them. Trust me.
I kind of give you a very saying that in character, like he's had dealings with it before back at his home. Gambler, you don't know it.
Well, most of their houses are partially underground, so it's not as easy. Tornadoes aren't as big of a
The
deal.
burrow.
It's
God.
called a cave-in.
Yes,
Oh, no.
cave-ins though.
Yeah.
Cave-ins are bad.
A targeted cave-in, we'll say.
God.
Oh, look, he's winning. Oh, the ceiling collapsed on that one seat. Who knew?
Just rigged to
Random happenstance.
just rigged to fall.
Oh no, he's choking on food.
Earthquakes are their version of tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, Nye walks away with some nice winnings and kind of heads back to you guys, and you continue on your way into the fire district, which is far more lively than the last time you came through here.
Are we
That
feeling
for
different?
certain.
I would
because we
hope
have those
so.
Stones, less heat.
What?
Are we feeling different because we have those stones, less heat?
Oh yeah, it is way less hot now. Like you're not sweating your paws off. It's actually kind of nice and balmy almost. The smell of sulfur is still there. It doesn't bother Rose. It probably doesn't either bother Nye either because it's not something primordials really care about.
I have no nose.
But yeah, you still smell the sulfur. You still smell the brimstone, but it's significantly less miserable and hot.
Oh, I should just say it since people aren't talking.
Yeah.
Oh, now you notice.
There are several shops lining the streets as well. There are bookstores, there are cafes and the like on the way to the fire portal. It's far more active than it was, of course, that last night, obviously. But it does seem to be that the guards have once again filled out. So
Are there less bodies on the floor?
there's no bodies on the floor.
Much better than
Oh.
last night.
Oh yeah.
So Rose, Naira, could I maybe ask a question or two?
Of course.
All right.
I heard something or read something when I was looking at some books. What exactly have either of you heard of something called negative?
Neither of you have.
I can't say I have.
Let's say negative reinforcement, negative. Yeah, I'm at a loss.
An element.
No, there's anything I could think of, but it's not really negative.
Could it be maybe
I don't know, negative Charge electrons? Throw me a bone here?
Could it maybe be a mistranslation of null?
Possibly.
Uh,
Although
That
null and negative are very different.
yeah.
That's also, one has also a lot more letters than the other. I think that'd be quite a stretch to consider that someone would have transcribed null as negative.
You'd be surprised. But, alright. My apologies. I've just been trying to put my finger on it.
But all right, not to worry.
Alright, and one more encounter roll.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm scared.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Nothing actually
matter
happens. No, nothing happens. You actually head to the portal with relative ease. There's no one stopping you. The guards don't pay you much mind, and you're able to actually easily pass through. Let me get some proper sounds. Here we go. And you pass through the gateway into the plane of fire.
Does it feel comfier?
Way comfier. Like, it's a little warm, yeah, but it'd be almost as if you were standing in the sun on a summer day. You were not feeling like you're burning alive.
Yay!
It is a far, far different experience. Whoops. I need to scroll over a bit more. There we go.
Say we're not as fired up.
Oh yeah, you're not burning up at all. But you take the similar path that you took before when you had Prism. You head down the steam lifts to the lower levels and over this massive onyx bridge to the huge castle in the center of the volcano's caldera. There are more active guards at this time of day, of course. There are several guards, in fact, that actually look like angels, but more traditional angels, but in armor. They don't pay you much mind as you enter into the halls of the Fire Lord's palace. Where do you go from here?
Nova, can we have to take a break really quickly because we're gonna put the kids to bed. It's 9:30.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead and take a 10-minute break. So you can go take care of that and get a drink, go to the bathroom, and we'll be back in 10 minutes.